Hi everyone! So today we are doing a makeup tutorial in depth. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your wine on the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Eye Trends Super Neutral Eyeshadow Palette. So it's this one right here. But let's go ahead and dive into the tutorial. Let's do some glam. We're going to do which I haven't done it in a while. And oh, missed it there. These clips look super pretty with their metal and they're heavy and they're aesthetically pleasing. They're not really doing a great job. But we're going to base the whole glam around this palette right here by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautifying Eye Trend in the shade Super Neutral. I want to give you guys a close-up. This palette is so beautiful and versatile. It is cool tone. This palette screams to me like Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn. Let's go in with some under eye corrector first because I have not been sleeping at all. I don't know who sleeps anymore. I'm using the Huda Beauty. This is the Fox Filter Corrector in the shade Pink Pomelo. I think the stopper went on that one. I have a brand new one because I'm never without a color corrector anymore. I'm just super obsessed with that one specifically. Okay, so for brows, lately I've been loving this one product. Usually I'm always using my NYX brow pencil, but this one is a little bit more natural looking. This is the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. So one side is a felt tip pen that's super teeny tiny, so it's perfect for creating like little brow hairs. So I'm just doing little tiny baby strokes anywhere in the front. I always go up. And then I start following mid-brow, just kind of where the hair is going, the direction of it. And that's it for the brow. Like, it's super easy, 1, 2, and done, and it's very natural looking. And next up is my favorite. I go in with my concealer. This is the L'Oreal Serum Concealer. No, I lied. That's the e.l.f. concealer, the hydration one. And I take a flat concealer brush. And I'm just going to work that in. And then I go right in. And create this little line. This just helps to give it a little bit more structure. So I found my favorite gel. This is the Pro Longwear Gel by MAC. It's clear. The reason why I love this gel is because it works beautifully. There's no flaking. And the applicator, one side it's got bristles, the other side it's got this nice smooth side, and it comes to like a nice little teardrop point. So you can really apply your brows how you want them. If you want like a laminated look, press them down. If you want them a little bit more natural looking like I do, I just brush this through just to kind of set everything. It's honestly just my favorite gel, and I haven't really found anything that is quite comparable at a drugstore price yet. But if you have any suggestions of a drugstore gel for your eyebrows, let me know. Next, before we go in and apply any foundation, let's go in and rehydrate. I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Spray by Charlotte Tilbury. Another great one, if you want to use it, is the Milani Make It Last. This stuff, I love it. The only thing I would have to say about this is it just has a very strong fragrance. So if you're super sensitive, maybe don't get that one. But I love my Charlotte Tilbury's. So I'm just going to rehydrate the skin a little bit, freshen her up, you know. If you want, you can go in with your damp beauty sponge and just tap out anything, blend in that color corrector just a little bit more, especially underneath the eye area. Alrighty, like I said, this is gonna be full glam, so it's super in-depth. You can skip ahead to like the end if you want. You can watch me trip on the makeup that's all over my floor. Usually I don't do underpainting. If you want more of a natural look, you can do underpainting, but we're just gonna go straight in with the luminizer. And the luminizer I'm going to use, can you guys guess? Can you guess what the illuminator is? It's the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. Now I mix the colors 4.5 and 2 Fair. If you have a mixing palette, that's probably best. I'm just going to apply this down the center of my face and dot it around. And then blend that in with stippling motions. And then before I put any foundation on, I'm going to go in with a couple more spritz just to rehydrate and prep the skin for foundation. You don't have to do this between every single step. I just like doing this, especially when I'm doing full glam, whether it's on me or a client. because they just last longer. It makes the skin look like skin and it melts all the products in together. So the foundation today I'm using is a little bit more high-end. It's one of my favorite ones. I'm not even sure if they discontinued this line. I hope they didn't. This is the SHISEIDO SYNCHRO Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. I love this one. This one is in the shade 230 Elder. I don't know, I just love this foundation. I think it's so pretty on so many different skin tones. Everyone that I recommend it to, they're like so in love with it. It's gonna go in with a beauty blender. You really want to work that into the base of the sponge or the base of your brush, and then stipple that on. Again, we're gonna avoid the eye area. So for cream contour today, I'm gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario contour stick and a little brush. And the reason why I'm using the little brush is because I have way more control than if I were just to put this all over my face. Like, it's way more precise. So I'm going to go on the actual cheekbone, not below it, because I find that this is more of a lifting effect, and I stipple that from there to about my hairline. I don't really do nose contour on myself. If that's something you guys do, definitely go ahead. There's nothing wrong with it. I just have never really been a nose contour girly. So I'm going to apply some of this to the hairline. And then I'm going to take a little bit onto my jaw. Just make sure you don't bring it up too high. You want to keep it more just right on the perimeter of your jaw and really blend that in. One of my favorite concealers that I just find works amazing is the 24-Hour Smoother Concealer by MAC. But I also really love the IT Cosmetics by Under Eye. And I use that in my kit as concealer, highlighter, bronzer, foundation. You only need a little bit, and then I'm going to use this to highlight just a little bit. So again, I'm going to let that sit for maybe about 4 to 10 minutes just to kind of let it dry down, and then I'm going to go in and blend that out in a second. Now if you're somebody who wants a little bit more of a kind of lightweight serum-y concealer, the L'Oreal True Match, the Radiant Serum Concealer is amazing, as well as the Charlotte Tilbury one. I'm going to go in with this concealer brush, and I'm just going to start to tap that out. And the reason why I start lower is because I avoid creasing. You can also use your finger if it's easier. I'm just using a brush to show you what your options are. And again, you're doing little tiny dabbing motions, stippling motions. You're gonna not try to swipe it. Now if you're using a cream blush, you might want to put that on and blend it out before you apply the concealer, and then do the concealer. That way it looks more blended. So once I've tapped out all the creases, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go set my under eye. I like to set with a loose powder first. I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty. The only thing I hate is how it comes out. Like, that's my number one issue when it comes to translucent powder. So powder puff, load up your sponge. Then take the palm of your hand, the back of your hand, we're going to use my palm, and we're going to do this to get off all the excess. Make this even, or as even as you can get it. I always start on the outer corner. Now, I'm not going to bake. I find baking, especially around the winter time where I am, it's so drying. I don't even like baking. This is on for like maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Maybe 10. And then I like wipe it right off. Baking is just not, it's not one of my favorite things. I have to set my contour, so I'm going to go in with this brush here. The Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is the Airbrush Bronzer Matte in the shade 2 Medium. And I just go over all the areas that I contoured. If you are more mature and you're losing volume in your face, especially in your temples, avoid putting any bronzer here because that might just emphasize the hollowness. I do my blush last just because I want to make it more cohesive with the eyeshadow look. I'm going to go in with this flat concealer brush. This is an old one, Urban Decay Shadow. And I'm going to start by taking it with this shade right here. And I'm just going to press that on my eyelid. You can also use a fluffy brush. That will make it more diffused. I just want to lay a nice little base down for any eyeshadow so they're easier to blend out. Now I'm going to go back into that same color with a fluffy brush. and really get that into the crease as well. Now with a little bit smaller of a blending brush, this is the BK Beauty 211. I love BK Beauty. Oh my god, I love their brushes. I'm going to create a little bit of an eye shape, so we're going to go into this light gray color. Slowly I'm going to start placing that into the crease and going back and forth. This is going to create a little bit of structure and dimension. I'm going to take that same BK Beauty brush and go back into the first color that we used. So that light cream color. I'm just going to take that along the gray color and lightly diffuse it. Now with an angled brush, I'm going to go into this gray color right here. I'm going to use this to create a wing on the outer corner. So I just start stamping it. And then when I get to the end, I flick it up just a little bit. And I stop halfway. If I'm looking forward, I stop right where my iris starts in my eye. If I'm looking straight, you can take it all the way into the inner corner if you want. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it on the outer edge. I'm going to take a flat liner brush, go back into that first color that we used in the crease, the gray color, and I'm just going to run that along my lower lash line and stopping about halfway. I usually bring my lower lash line down a lot further. I might do that, but let's just start. You can also use a smudger brush like this one. This is another favorite brush of mine. This is the IT Cosmetics Dual Ended No Tug number 5 brush. And I taper it off the closer that I get to the inner corner of the eye. So the eye look is pretty simple for now. We'll add some falsies in. But first let's apply the mascara. Now this is my favorite mascara of the moment. This is the Exaggerate Your Eyes Volume Mascara by Charlotte Tilbury. Kind of warning here, this is glass, so don't drop this, as I learned the hard way. I love the formula of this, and I love the brush. How fabulous this mascara is. It has length and volume. It's very lightweight, but it just gives you kind of like that pretty fanned out effect. Charlotte Tilbury has a brush like this, but this one isn't actually Charlotte Tilbury. This is a very old brush. This is a Morphe M138. I will link the equivalent to this brush down below. If I can find this one on Morphe, I will try, but again, it's super old. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of this shade and this shade. We're going to do that. I'm going to tap it twice on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to, again, I hate the fact that that doesn't have a mirror. Take that and just to the outer socket right here. Push it in there. Push it in the crease and just the outer corner of the eye. Just to give it a little bit more depth and lift. And I'm not taking it all the way in, just the outer corner. Okay, let's just jump to the blush. You all know I'm going to use this. It's my latest obsession. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, it's the YSL. This is their Make Me Blush in the shade 42. Last time I called this blush the Make Me Blush blush, that's not the name. The line of blushes is called Make Me Blush by YSL, and this is number 42, and it's like the perfect. Like, it looks a little bit intimidating, but once it's on. So I'm going to go in and apply that with another favorite BK Beauty brush of mine. This is the BK 110. Stab it little and just, oh. It's the perfect cool tone pink. It has a little bit of a kind of a highlighter in there, but it's like the perfect everyday, the perfect high end, the perfect wedding color. Like, this is just the perfect blush color. Okay. Now let's go in and do a little bit of highlighting. So for that I have this here. I don't know if people still use this one, but I love this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Bronze and Glow. I think this was my very first, not this one, but the very first Charlotte Tilbury product I had was this. I'm just going to go in with the highlighter, and I'm just going to apply that right there. This was my first Charlotte Tilbury product. And I remember that Charlotte Tilbury years ago, it wasn't available in Canada yet. And I had to order this, I think it was from Cult Beauty or something. It was a British kind of like Sephora that you had to order it from. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. I'm going to put it on the tip of my nose, on the bridge of my nose. You can also apply it a little bit with your finger on your cupid's bow. And that gives the look of fuller lips. Then I'm going to go in with this tiny little brush, same highlighter. Put this in the inner corner just to kind of open up that eye, because there is so much darkness happening there. Apply it right under the highest point of my brow bone. So for lips, we're going to go in, of course, with the iconic nude lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. This is probably my most worn lip liner. I'm going to take, this is Pillow Talk Fair, so not the original Pillow Talk, but the lighter one. And then for gloss, we're going to go in with the Pillow Talk Big Plumpgasm. This is in the medium deep shade. Okay, so now let's put this all together with the magic of editing. Just like that, we're ready. I wish it was that easy. Alright, so this is the final look. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Like I said, the Super Neutrals is probably the most wearable. Again, it's beautiful. It looks gorgeous on any skin tone, any eye color, any age. The neutrals and the mattes are so perfect. The shimmers, the metallics in here are just, if you want a more sparkly eyeshadow look with this eyeshadow palette, drop a comment down below and I will film that for you. Anyways guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.